This film starts with Chuck showing that he was surprised to see that the mansion he paid a hefty amount to buy, there was rainwater dripping in it. Then he immediately took a picture of this thing and sent it to the property agent. And in his heart, he started saying bad things. After this, he went to his wife's studio, whose name was Maria, to check if there was any water dripping there. His wife, Maria, was a fashion designer and was doing a live session at this time and was sharing her designing experience. Fortunately, his studio was completely dry. Then Chuck's eyes went to the old modeling dummy standing in the corner of the room, which his wife liked so much that she brought it with her in the new mansion. After this, he went outside the mansion to check that there is no problem outside either. Just then, his neighbor came over to Chuck. He was surprised at how this mansion finally broke. During their conversation, the neighbor revealed the secret that the old owner of the house had committed suicide in this house. Chuck was completely shocked to hear this because the property agent did not give him this information. Then he came back and started looking at the pictures again. That's when he spotted a shotgun in one of the photos. Although there was no weapon in his house, he gets confused that where did this gun come from? But the weird stuff didn't stop there. The next morning, when he was walking in the garden of the mansion, he saw his wife's modeling dummy, which was standing in the garden in a strange way. That's when the neighbor came again and started looking at all this. He doubted that this could be my sister's mischief because a few months ago, his sister's mental condition deteriorated due to the death of his mother in an accident. Then he advises the neighbor to pay attention to his sister's mental condition. He also suggests that he go to the nearby library and read the history of this area. Along with this, he also invites him to a local group meeting. In the afternoon, when he goes to the library and turns the books upside down, he finds a book in which the deep history of this small village is written. As soon as he started leaving, he saw that some books were spread on the ground. Along with this, he also saw a crying girl who warns him that he should not take any interest in the secrets of this place, or else the consequences could be disastrous. But Chuck ignores him, thinking he is crazy, and takes the books to the library counter. When the librarian saw the books, his eyes were left open. He immediately warned Chuck not to explore this special place because no one has been able to reach there yet. Chuck says that I didn't think anything like that. I just want to understand the history. He also tells about the crying girl and the books scattered on the floor. The librarian suddenly becomes serious. He immediately leaves from there. Then Chuck also quietly returns home. After returning home, he started reading books which were connected to a secret conference in 1980. Then suddenly the doorbell rang. Outside the door, there's a student who came to take music class. Chuck was a music teacher, and today this student came to learn music for the first time. In the beginning, the student was very nervous. Then Chuck went to take water in the kitchen so that his mood could be a little light. But then suddenly the sound of the piano started echoing throughout the room. It seemed like a performance of a professional person. Chuck was shocked because when he turned around and looked, the student was standing at the door of the kitchen. Seeing this, both were very surprised. When Chuck came back to the piano, everything had calmed down, and the woman the student had mentioned was nowhere to be found. Seeing this, she got very scared and immediately ran away from there. Chuck was alone at night because his wife had gone out of the house for office work. That's why he goes to attend the meeting of the garden club told by the neighbor. There was a discussion on a very sensitive topic, which is usually not liked by the people of this village. There were only 6 people in the meeting. Chuck notices that a man working in the library has also come here. They were talking about a girl named Helen Foster, who had recently tried to commit suicide. Says this whole thing reminds her of an old story from 1980, when a woman named Helen took her life after her daughter was constantly bullied at school and no one came forward to help her. Then in this anger and sorrow, Helen came to her house. After that, there is a mysterious suicide in this village every year. People believe that this is happening because of Helen's spirit. They say no one dares to go near Helen's house anymore. This matter is not going to stop. The meeting was slowly drowning, so it was decided to end it. But as soon as the roof came out, a woman's laughter was heard from the old church nearby. He came home nervous and goes to his sister Isabel's room. Isabel had not yet come out of the grief of her mother's passing, and often had bad dreams, which made her see her mother again and again. Whenever this happens, she comes to the church and tells about her fear, so that the mind can be light. One evening, Isabel's school friend came to her house to meet Isabel. He had been living in this village since childhood, and he was aware of many scary stories here. He told Isabel the whole story of Helen's suicide in great detail. When Isabel was sleeping at night, the bathroom light automatically turns on. She wakes up and turns off the light, but after a while, it turns on again. She thought the switch was broken, so she removed the bulb and put it on the side table of the bed. Just as she was trying to fall back asleep, mysterious things were not stopping. The next morning, when Isabel woke up, she saw that the sun had risen outside. At first, she was feeling as if it was a nightmare, but when she noticed the bulb on the side table of her bed, she realizes that whatever happened last night was all real. Isabel immediately tells this to her friend. Then she got a call from Chuck, who tells Isabel to come home immediately. When Isabel reached home, she saw that her sister-in-law Maria was very scared. Actually, some time ago, Maria was doing a live session in her design studio. Then something strange happened. The hand of the dummy model behind her starts moving on its own. At the same time, her best friend, who was watching live, immediately calls her. Then Maria thought that maybe she wants to tell me about the bridal dress. That's why Maria makes a video and sells it and tells that the dress is already ready. But when she sat in front of the camera again, she was surprised because the dummy model had disappeared from there. Before that, she didn't feel that she was moving. And then her friend started sending messages on messages to get out of the room immediately. But Maria took these things lightly and continued her live session. After a while, when she went to show the dress of the dummy model, she went and saw that she was not there. Suddenly, a loud voice came from the room nearby. Maria first panicked, but then, fearing, moves towards that room. Then she realizes the truth of the dummy model. When Chuck heard all this, he comes home without a time witness, and they burn the dummy together. Chuck said that the previous owner of this bungalow committed suicide here. It was decided that she will leave this bungalow. Isabel is told to collect all her belongings and shift to the college hostel. Then Isabel's friend also came to help her. Meanwhile, the girl sees a picture on the wall in which Isabel and her mom were together. She told Isabel the shocking thing. She said that your mom doesn't look the same in this picture as you told. In the picture, your mom and your mom look completely different. Isabel was shocked. She immediately tells that my mom had already passed away in an accident a few months ago. Hearing this, her friend was also surprised because he had seen her mom walking around the house a while ago. Both were thinking about this confusion when they heard the sound of utensils falling in the kitchen downstairs. Both of them reached downstairs in a panic. But as soon as they got down, the atmosphere of the house had completely changed. It was quite cold in the room. The air was also strange. It was burning like a whistle. His friend could not tolerate all this and goes out on some pretext. As soon as he went, Isabel heard someone calling her name from behind. In fear, she turned around and saw, but nothing was seen. Then suddenly Maria came and started stopping her. But Isabel says that I will find out about this mystery. Then both run to their rooms in panic. After a while, a scream comes from Maria's room. Isabel runs to her room. The door was slowly opening by itself. Maria was terribly scared. She comes to Isabel's room crying. She had fear on her face, and blood was flowing from her nose. But she was not aware of what was happening to her. When the atmosphere calmed down a bit, Isabel's friend returned. He had an old map in his hand. He told her that by combining the book of 1923 planners and the existing map of the city, he had found the correct address of a very old place. The name is 825 Forest Road, which is also the name of this story. Jack had now decided that he would go and talk to the person who had cheated his wife. Isabel also insists on going with him. An agent comes outside to ask for help for an ad shoot. But Jack had to get out of that important work immediately. Maria, whose condition was already normal, stops to help the agent. Isabel felt something was wrong, so she told her friend to stay with Maria. While Jack and Isabel head towards the old address, i.e. 825 Forest Road. On the way, Jack said that, "If this is the same house, then I will set this house on fire," while Maria was helping the agent in the ad shoot. But suddenly, the agent started speaking in a strange, unfamiliar language. On the other hand, Chuck and Isabel had now reached a ruined house, passing through the dense forest. They came in after breaking the window. She came inside and started looking for a sign like a number. Isabel slowly started looking up and sees that this mansion looks similar to Chuck's house from inside. Then someone's shadow passes behind her. At the same time, Maria, who was at home, suddenly started talking about the old incident of 1980. She says that my daughter was badly harassed in school. She asked for help from people many times, but no one helped. Actually, the woman's soul who had committed suicide, that is Helen, was completely buried in Maria's body. On the other hand, Chuck found a wooden box under the ground. There were a lot of letters in it, which were written to the school. This letter was written by the same woman, but everyone had returned. Her address was also written on the letter. Chuck realizes that the address of the first house, i.e. the house of that woman, and the address of this house, i.e. 825 Forest Road, are the same place. This is why the soul comes to this house. Because this used to be his house. When Chuck went upstairs in fear to take Isabel, because they had to leave from here immediately, but Isabel was standing quietly at one place. There, Isabel's friend was also convinced that something strange was happening in Maria. she deliberately asked her for her daughter's name. Suddenly, Maria started screaming loudly and laughing like crazy. After a few moments, everything calmed down. Isabel's friend thought that the soul had left, but Isabel's eyes remained open in amazement. An invisible hand pressed her shoulders. Chuck ran to save Isabel, but an invisible force pulled them both into the old room. We learn that the spirit of that woman, the spirit of Helen, killed Isabel and Chuck as well. She did this to take revenge from the people of the town. Because the spirit of that woman, the spirit of Helen, killed Isabel and Chuck as well. She did this to take revenge from the people of the town, because the people of the town did not help her at that time. No matter who is innocent, whoever comes to the town, his death is certain. Helen plays with everyone in different ways and takes their lives. She will keep doing this until her mystery is solved and her soul is not at peace. And with this horrific ending, the story of this film also ends here.